right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Baha Rakak Wadash, which is the Paleo Hebrew for the name of the Heavenly Father being Yahweh, and the name of his Son being Yahweh Shai. All right, the only names of which salvation can be obtained, whether you can receive it or not. Double honors be unto the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, who through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai are the elders and the apostles of all of Israel today. All right, once again, whether you can receive that or not. And peace, love, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect who believe and push this truth and sincerity and in charity and in faith to the best of their ability. All right, striving to receive this crown, man, who will be found blameless before Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. All right, what you see here, man, is an example of starvation. All right, an example of malnutrition, which is something that's coming to the virgin shores of Babylon. All right, something that's coming to America, man. Something that's ultimately going to hit the entire planet. All right, as it's already began in certain areas. All right, such as Venezuela. All right, but this is Lamentations 4 and 9. All right, to give further examples, it says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain of hunger." And why? Because when you hunger, it's a very slow death. It's a painful death. A lot of the times, people may even commit suicide. All right, or try to or hope to just receive death rather than slowly decaying away of hunger. All right, and a lot of people, especially here in America, man. That's why it's called the virgin shores. They haven't seen this kind of affliction. All right, they haven't seen this type of, especially your average Edomite, coming up in the suburbs and had everything handed to them their whole lives. All right, they've never gone without eating for more than half a day. All right, yeah, they get hungry, and they just eat right away. All right, 2 hours later they're hungry again. All right, so there's a rude awakening. All right, that's going to be found. All right, but we're gonna get into these prophecies and break them down. But continuing on with the example, it says, "For these pine away and are stricken through for want of the fruits of the field." Right, and these, just like in this picture, man, these are people pining away. You got little babies, all right, little kids. All right, the Most High is a terrifying power, man. Yahweh is a terrifying power. That's why I said, as it's written in the book of Hebrews. All right, it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living power, because look what he could do to you, man. Look what he could do to your children. You see? Going on, verse 10, it says, "The hands of the pitiful woman have sought in their own children. They were the meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people." Right, they were the meat for the destruction. Well, now who's that meat? Their children. The hand of the pitiful woman have sought in their children, meaning boiled them. All right, so when this hunger hits, man, something that's happened, in times past is cannibalism. All right, and if mothers are going to be eating their own children, how much more are strangers going to be eating your children? Might just run up and just take a bite out of a random, see a random person and just take a bite out of their face, man. It's going to be like the zombies, in all these zombie movies that they have. And now, what's it talking about, though? All right, because everything within these scriptures, man, go back to a prophecy. That's what sets this book aside from every other book on the face of the earth, man. This has to go back to a prophecy at some point. Okay, that's being spoken of. All right. Now let's see where it is. All right. Going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 58, it says, "And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee." Salakia, "In the siege of the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother." Right? And why is it going to be evil toward his brother? Keep these this breakdown in mind, because we're going to get into further prophecies that have yet to come. Okay, and when we do, you're going to see how they just tie together. All right, a man's eyes shall be evil toward his brother. All right. So, those that are close to you, those that are around you, all right, they're no longer going to be seen as allies, man. It's every man for himself. All right. And that's what this prophecy was fulfilling, because if a mother's sodding her child, all right, boiling her child to eat him or her, all right, who was once, seen as that child looked at them as their protector. All right, it's every man for himself. That's what it's been turned into. All right, when hunger hits, man, that's when you really learn who's real and who's not. All right, going on, it says, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children. See, a lot of you hoes, man, you're just gonna get literally eaten by your men. All right, a lot of you hoes are just gonna get ravished and eaten, man. A lot of you men are too. All right, it says, and toward the remnant of his children, and this is why the chip is gonna be such a hot commodity that everybody's gonna be taking. All right, because of all this affliction, man. All right, which once again, we're reading this prophecy that, we just read it coming to pass, or part of it in Lamentations. All right, now we're gonna jump in and get a little bit more on it, but going on, it says, the remnant of his children he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat. Man, this is how bad. And these are the curses on Jake, man. So if these are the curses on Jake and Jake still hasn't been delivered, then this is gonna happen again, man. All right, how much more in the greatest victory that's yet to come? All right, how much more in Jacob's trouble, the greatest distress that's yet to come? All right, so he's gonna be eating his own children, and he ain't gonna share them with anybody. He'll be standing in the corner just eating his children. All right, it says, so he will, Salakia, it says, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, meaning he's lost everything, man. His house been destroyed. All right, so last thing he has is kids, so what does he do? Turn around and eat them. All right, it's cannibalism, man. Cannibalism is within the scriptures, and it's within the prophecies that have yet to come. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So you see how tender and delicate our women used to be, man. All right, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American woman. All right, to the point where they wouldn't even touch the sole of their foot on the ground. All right, but now, it's the complete opposite way around, man. These women are monsters. All right, and that's why, in the Apocrypha, it says, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than a wicked woman, because these women have waxed worse and worse, man, just like the men have. All right, but anyway, going on, it says, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and what's it sound like? Derision against those that you're close to. It says, toward her daughter, and toward the young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege of straightness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. All right, so once again, man, here so we're seeing the prophecy that we were just reading of coming to pass in the book of Lamentations. Okay, because Lamentations was at the fall of Israel. That's why it's called Lamentations, because it's meaning to lament. All right, to cry out. All right, but anyway, going on to 2 Kings 6:24, it says, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his army and went up to besiege Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, which was Jerusalem, or Israel. It says, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. Now, what we're reading here, man, is the actual, part of that prophecy coming to pass, and Lamentations is the after effect. Okay. So it was so bad that ass's head was worth about 40 pieces of silver, man. That's that. I mean, that's a lot of money, because one piece of silver today would be worth $20. All right, it says, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So for 5 pieces of silver, you could buy some bird shit to eat. That's how bad the famine was, man. Because the prophecies, because of our foolishness, man, because of our folly. All right, those curses came upon us. All right, and that curse was prophesied of starvation. All right. So you see, things are just prepare these images to be all around you, man. All right, because like I said, we're going to get into the further prophecies and prove that, this is going to hit America, man. But anyway, going on, verse 26, it says, and as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help me, O master, my king. And he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? Right? So if Yahweh ain't going to help you, how can any man help you? And this is what Jake needs to get through their head. All right, our only deliverance through this is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. So if you ain't with that, then prepare to see this, man. If you're lucky, man, the Most High might have a even more grievous death planned out for you. All right, it says, verse 28, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her, not the next day, give thy son that we may eat him, and she hath hid her son. So this was her reason for being distressed. It wasn't even for eating her son. She was distressed because now she can't eat the other woman's son. All right, so you see, man, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their children. All right, what did we just read? We just read the prophecies that this would happen. And then look what you have. These people acting surprised, man. This is what the king did. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked and beheld, and he had sackcloth upon his flesh. All right, you people are going to have no reason to act surprised, man. All right, death is coming to America, man, in mass ways. And one of the ways is in the form of starvation, man. See, this wicked king, man, acting like he's surprised in some way. All right, now you want to grieve. You had the chance to grieve with us before it happened, man, but you want to just wait till the last minute. All right, so this is what you're going to see, man. This is what you're going to see. All right, you're going to be eating your own damn kids, man. You scoffers going to be eating your goddamn keyboards, man. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into 2nd Esdras. This is 2nd Esdras 15. I'm going to start at verse 14. I'm just going to hit a few verses, just hit the main points. It says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. All right, now why is it saying woe, which means destruction? Saying what? Why is it saying destruction to those that are in the world and them that dwell therein? All right, did we not just read some examples of possibly what it could be talking about? Verse 49, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Right, so there you go, man. More prophecies that this stuff would happen again, man. All right, and not only famine, all right, but you see poverty, the sword, pestilence. See, this is why everybody's going to be running towards that ship. All right, let me go ahead. Let me jump back up to verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. What were we reading earlier in the curses? That even those that are close to you, you're going to be held in derision with, man. You're going to be divided amongst each other. You're going to be looking at each other as a goddamn food source. All right, you wanted to ride in the hood with all your niggas. You didn't want to come out of that bullshit. All right, well, you're gonna get eaten by those around you, man, because there ain't no brotherhood other than the brotherhood in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. There ain't no body or family tightly or knit than that. All right, even your family in the world that have been there for you and you've been there for them, and so on and so forth. All right, we're gonna see how strong that stronghold could stand when this famine hits, man. It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Right, you're going to be destroying each other, man. And that's why Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew 10, and I believe starting past verse 30, right, he says that I came not to not with peace, but with the sword, to divide and set families at derision. All right, and part of that derision is what? Exactly what we're reading, man. All right, it says, and spoil their goods. So they're going to be spoiling each other's goods. Why are they going to be doing that? Because they ain't going to have no goddamn goods, man. They're going to be dying of starvation. They're going to be doing this. So what do you do next? You start eating each other. You start killing each other. All right. So you got a rude awakening coming here, man, to the planet Earth, especially to Babylon. All right, and going on, it says, because of the lack of bread. There you go, man. The lack of bread. What's that sound like? The lack of food. All right. It says, and for great tribulation. Right. So there you have it, man. All right. Prepare to see this all around you in one way or another, man. And just great mass grievous death. This is what's on its way to America. All right, but with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakak Wadash. All right, double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.